Happy Monday. Next year I'm going to work under an entirely different set of guidelines for preparing and operating Halloween, because man, it really burnt me out. I wasn't feeling very good yesterday off of only a few hours sleep. So yeah, back in full effect today, hopefully. So this is the deal. Over yesterday and last night, I was watching a Tai Lopez video. Check out Tai Lopez. I made some connections between that video and another video done by Radu at Think, Eat, Lift. So you can check those two guys out if you're interested in getting good content, because both those guys put out awesome content. But what Radu was talking about was Bob Proctor. He bought a Bob Proctor, and I've been watching Bob Proctor stuff, but he led me to a certain video which was on self-image. And in the video, Bob Proctor, he basically talks about how our self-conscious is what controls our self-interest, our self-image. And what happens is this: when we don't go outside of ourselves and we don't, embrace our true selves and don't allow ourselves to be controlled by, social opinion, social sanctions, social ideas, when we don't do these things, when we don't live in our true nature, what happens is our self-conscious controls that self-image. And what it is it's like an airplane that has set off on a journey to a certain location. The pilot of that airplane, he puts on what he called the computer system that operates the autopilot that basically keeps the airplane on trajectory to reach its destination. Pretty much that's what they have to do. And what happens to us over time is we become like that piloting system. We become controlled by autopilot, and what happens is we can make gains in certain areas of our lives. We can, the example that he uses in his video is, it could be like a child has a self-image that in his mind he's a D student, and what'll happen is he may get all these external factors that give him a energy and the enthusiasm to study during this specific point of time, during this specific frame of time, and he will get a B on a test. But what will happen, he won't keep that same drive, because he was earning these skills and this ability from outside influence. He wasn't, motivating himself. He wasn't working on his own, internal, energy and internal focus to reach this goal. So what'll happen is slowly but surely the self-conscious will start to, come into effect again and adjust his nervous system, adjust his behaviors to, and his habits to get back on that original trajectory, rather than the different trajectory which reached him the B on the test. So what I gathered was this from, looking at myself and just what I figured I would bring up today, because I only want to have this video go a couple more minutes, is, who do you want to be? Who are you, I guess? Do you know who you are? Or are you living for others? Are you living for those external things? Are you allowing other people to motivate you rather than having self-motivation? And a lot of this starts from what I feel like your daily habits. My daily habits, working off a goal list, eating right, eating, nutritious, raw foods the majority of my diet. Loving myself, taking care of myself, exercising, there's other things that go into my day, but I'm just saying the way that I treat myself that starts with, that is what started with constructing the self-image that I have of myself, the self-image of greatness, the self-image of leadership, the self-image of abundance. That's the mindset that I have. That fueled my habits. The habit of, reading every day for 60 minutes. The habit of, making sure that I'm exercising on a regular basis. All these habits come from me focusing on, being that person that I want to be and being my true self. Well, I believe that comes from comfort. I believe that comes from focusing your mind on the things that you need to focus on to be great. I can't say what that is for you. All I can do is share with you, ideas to help you create happiness in your life. These are just, these are my ideas. So, figure out what your self-image is. Figure out if, and once you figure out what your self-image is, which, who you want to be, or who you are in your mind, or who you want to be at your greatest self, at your best self, who is it that you are, or who is it, and if you're not that person, who is it that you want to be? Then what you do is you look at your habits. Do your daily habits, keep you in that position where you are or where you want to be, that goal person? Or are your habits those habits of someone who does not deserve, or someone who will never earn that, that self-image that you have of yourself? And basically what you need to do is you need to start writing down the things that you do on a daily basis, writing down your daily rituals, writing down your daily habits, hour for hour, taking an audit of your personal time and how you're spending your personal time. And that will over a course of time, put you in a position where you can start to, reconstruct your days and your rituals and your habits, which in turn starts to, activate new levels of your subconscious mind. It starts to, you start to become in control of your natural flow, your natural daily rhythm. That is how you change it from the ground up. So work on yourself from the ground up. If you're that great person that you want to be and you're already there, awesome. But most of us, including myself, I'm not exactly where I want to be. Am I on the right track? Yes. Do I fall short in certain areas because I have to put more energy into these things? I have to put more energy into my son at times. Everything isn't always in absolute balance. For me, I can't speak for you, but what I have found personally is getting control of your time, mapping out your time every day, setting your goals every day, and time mapping throughout your day, and creating those default setting habits that you do every day. Even if you have to have those as another list, like, I did this habit today, I did this habit today, I did this habit today. Maybe that's what it's going to take. So, from the ground up experience. Happy Monday.